So first of all, thank you, Roger, and thank you, Carl, for having me be here. I had never heard of this, but now that I have, I feel like we need to spread the word. I feel like this is a really important endeavor, and the idea of getting feedback from more people and getting more people involved in this very democratic process is awesome. And I actually think we've been very affected by some of the things that Michael spoke about, and I'll explain to you how I think that affects us in transit. Means testing. So I'm a FDR Democrat. I'm an old school Democrat. I believe in entitlements. I believe that one of the things the government is supposed to do is it's supposed to help the people. That's one of the reasons that it's there. I'm in a position right now, I just got reelected to City College, and one of the things that I want to do is get our students a transit pass. And we're just at the very beginning of the experience, but it's been very interesting. One of the most interesting parts about it is the attitude of the students. And the attitude of the students is extremely non-FDR Democrat, in the sense that they say, well, if that person's rich, why should they get a free pass? So all of our students are sort of thinking in this means testing way. They have been brought up that that is the right way to think. That we should be sort of looking out for ourselves, and only if we are low income should we get things. And I was one of the people to fight for free muni for youth a couple of years ago. We had a big fight for free muni for youth. And there were two different camps. There was a camp that said everybody should get free, all youth should get free muni for youth, because that will mean it's an entitlement. It'll be like an entitlement. And then the other camp was, well, rich people shouldn't get free muni for youth, only poor people should get free muni for youth. I was on the everybody should get free muni for youth. And the reason for that is pure and simple. I think the reason we still have Social Security, despite everybody's attempt to get rid of it, is because rich people have it. That's why we have things like Social Security, I think, because they don't want to vote against it, even though they don't need it. But an entitlement means they get it too. So one of the really interesting things that will happen over the next 4 years is we explore getting a transit pass. We are the only higher education institution in San Francisco that does not have a transit pass for our students, and yet we have the poorest students of any higher education students. One of the reasons we don't have a free transit pass or a transit pass at all is it actually costs quite a bit of money for Berkeley, for USF, but what they do is they spread the costs among all students, those that take community and those that don't, and so it costs less. Our students can't pay less. They need to have it free. So we are really fighting to find the funding to have, what was the thing, fully funded public transportation. We're fighting to find the funding in a variety of different places. So one place that we are fighting to find the funding is in passing a giant regional measure that would be for all of the 9 counties, if we can get it, a transportation measure in 2020. And that's a whole interesting fight in and of itself, because I'm on the side of the advocates. There's also the side of the civic leadership organizations, and they're not talking to us. So that's another battle. But we need to fully fund public transportation. We are dying here, literally, from congestion, from pollution, from the fact that we have so many people who can't afford to live in San Francisco, yet they work here. They want the $15 or whatever it is now. I don't think we're up to 15 yet, are we? We're up to 15. $15 an hour here in San Francisco, but they live in Vallejo, which means they're spending oodles of time getting here, tons of money getting here, losing all the time with their families, all that time with their families that they spending, all the quality of life things that they're losing because we have expensive and not very good public transportation. So I feel very, very strongly that public transportation is an equity issue. I feel that we should do it for everybody. I don't think we should do it for just one group or another. I think we should do it for everybody. We are trying to get a bill in 2020 that would be $100 billion, which sounds probably like a lot of money to you. It's not. It's not. Los Angeles passed Measure M. They have $160 billion for one county for public transportation. So, and they're doing another one for $64 billion this year. So, but it's a start. It's an actual start. It's actually to fund, and here's an important part of the measure as we're writing it, the advocates, 25% would go to operations. What does that mean? Well, the problem when we do these massive funding things is we forget about the operators. We forget about the fact that we have to run these systems. It's not just about building the thing, it's about actually running it, and it's got to be run. And so at least 25% of this measure would go towards operations, which is pretty unusual. I have no idea where I am in my 10 minutes, but anyhow, I would just say that I think fully funding transportation is, just as housing is a right, I think transportation is a right. I think, we've got to get more housing, we've got to allow transportation to be free. So the college is free, so that's a good start. For higher education, which I feel very strongly about as well. And I think we can do it. I think the money is there. I think we have a wealthy, wealthy, wealthy area. We really do. I think the money is there, and we just need to put